thought is ego. If you know what to do with it, it won't end with a dove. You will remain gentle forever. What you do with it is what determines the extent it will ever get to you. At the beginning of Christianity, they say we should be holy, we should be gentle. They slap you one face, you just take it. They slap you other, you say slap me more, no problem, and all that. Hey! Are you hearing what I'm saying? There's a level you get to that you are too dangerous. They didn't call Paul a nice guy. They say he's a pestilence fellow. He has become a plague. That anywhere he gets to, he inflicts people with the same disease inside them. What is the disease? Holy Ghost. Everybody, why is everybody doing this when they leave your house? They have met something. Something has entered into them. It's a pestilence fellow. Just drop him in any school. By the time he's getting out of that school, something will happen to them. They say they are going on IT. You are on IT, and then everybody in your room, everybody, they don't know you have fire where you are coming from. That means you are too cold. You may be holy, you are a dove, gentle. How are you, sister? God bless you. How are you? God bless you. How are you? God bless you. Is that all you are going to do? If you meet a cantankerous lady that is not God bless you but is demonic, it will convert you. But when you have done something with the dove, it becomes an ego. Praise God. We are talking of the moves of the Spirit and the moves of the things of God, and how the path of the Spirit take us from one level to another. The level is infinite. Oh my God. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh. I'm training my boys to be so dangerous that when you get to a level of spiritual maturity and development of your spirit man, you will become light. In the realm of the Spirit, you are heavy, but you are light. And when you become light, you can become invisible. Praise God. Developing your spirit has no end. I will teach you some things that you can write down, but I'm not ready for writing down now. I'm ready for soaking it. Praise God. Are you getting what I'm saying? You get to a level in the development of your spirit that is, volatile liquid. That if you pour it somewhere, within some time, it evaporates. Because it can't stay at that state for too long. It's changed to another state. It looks liquid at almost, it moves to gas fast. Praise God. You don't have to heat it. It's already heated. Water. Before it will start leaving the ground, its temperature must be above 100. But when you pour methane, it doesn't need any heating. It's heated. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Water needs to be heated before it can become vapor and change state from that liquid state to gaseous state. But there are things, if you pour them on the ground, within a moment, it's gone. What happened? Who hit you? I'm heated. I'm living in that heated state. Praise God. I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying. Because in a short while, some things will be happening in this world. And people will be looking at us as if are these human beings or they are God's beings. Because there are human beings and there are God beings. Human being, they are the Homo sapien. The one that look like baboon. They look like ape. I'm not one of them. I don't belong to that kind of thing. Praise God. But we came from God. He gave birth to us. So we are his offspring. And it is whosoever give birth to you that you will look like. So since God is a spirit, we are spirit. We are spirits being like our Father. So we just need to be trained on how to flow the way Daddy flows. Praise God. That's why we come to school. That's why we are going to Bible school. for training. So our spirit man can be attuned to the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is already inside of us. But the Spirit inside of us is the Spirit of man. What we need to copy is the Spirit of God. That's the place where we look alike. I can't copy my lecturer. I can get something from his brain, but I don't need his spirit. God is a humanizer. He smokes, but he's good, he's brilliant. Will I be smoking because my prof is smoking? God forbid. Come on. Praise God. Praise God. But I need something from his brain, so I get that one. But other things about him I don't need. In fact, if he's sick, I can lay hand on him. In the realm where I operate, sickness is not the issue. Praise God. When I sit down, he teaches me so my brain can get some stuff for engineering. But what I'm getting in my Bible is higher than engineering. Praise God. Are you hearing? Your spirit man can see more than your brain can learn. You know, our brain learn by studying, but our spirit man learn by fellowshipping with the Spirit of God. Praise God. The man that I showed you, Job, yesterday, that knows how to dig the rock until he will get oil. The oil there is to get fuel, the kind of oil we are using now. So it means that using of oil has started since the days of Job. Oil merchant, it has started since the day of Job. Now, it will soon expire. Praise God. Praise God. It will soon what? Expire. That we won't need oil again. Some right thinking guys are already thinking in terms of after oil, what next? We have used Stone Age and we left the place. We use Iron Age, we left the space. Are you getting what I'm saying? It is those who first got to know about iron and how to turn iron to machine that became world superpowers. But now, those who have oil, they are now dictating to the people that have engine how to use their engine. They didn't create anything more than what they got. So all the economy of the world is running based on oil. The wars that they are fighting in the world is wars of oil. Why are they not fighting around here? No. They're only fighting around Bakassi. That we are going to, we kill ourselves. And Nigerians, you know, they like themselves. They don't like war. Just take Bakassi, how much is small land, take. But they don't know the depth of oil in Bakassi. That's the reason why, you know, France want to support Cameroon. It's a French-speaking country. So we can fight them until we die here. If they don't give us Bakassi. What's inside Bakassi? Is oil. Praise God. Why are they interested in one country and they are not interested in another country? If that country doesn't have what they need, you can kill yourself. The United Nations won't see you. But if oil is there, they will come. So the wars of the world are wars based on oil. But the guy that is having one strange brain in Dubai is now thinking of another thing. So why can't we start creating things that won't need oil? Since we know oil will soon finish. So he now started developing, bring people that have correct brain together. He can think, but he cannot create those things. So we bring people who can create what he's thinking and pay them. So let's start producing cars. Let's start producing every other thing. Not with this. Until it has to roll, it will not move. Until it has to control this, it will not. Can't you get some other things? Now, I told my boys many years ago, I said, I see a future where we don't need everything we are using now. We are now using glass. These things used to be wood, isn't it? That's the generation of it over there. So it means the church started from that level until they bought this. A time comes that you won't see this one. And a generation like 15, 20 years ago, no carpenter will have job. But it does not mean that all wood are finished in the wood will still be there. But since technology left wood, wood remain. When technology left stone, there are still stones. So the guy says, let's start thinking of vehicles that will not need fuel. There's no way it won't need fuel. There is a way. Don't tell me there's no way. You are thinking yesterday. I'm saying you to be thinking tomorrow. Okay. That we don't use fuel at all. At all. Don't need it. But other things. Let's be thinking. We'll get there. And they started getting to the level of thinking. The way we have drone. You understand what I'm saying? Drone doesn't need one big engine for it to move. You just need a remote control and something to propel. You understand what I'm saying? And it will lift up and ask my boss. I've been telling them long time. I said the plane I'm going to use to run my ministry across the nations of the world will not need tarmac. I said I don't need, you need an air running space. No, I don't need running space. It's just lifting place and landing place. I said it long time. I said because my vision of nations I want to get to may not be the nations that are already having any airport. They are poor, so they don't have airport. But God must reach all nations, whether poor nation or rich nation. Somebody must be thinking beyond rich wealth, but souls. Are there not souls in the places where they don't have airport? So who is now going to reach them? In those days, they use sheep and other things to go. I don't have time to spend 5 months inside one place because I want to reach another country. I'll be wasting my life on the sheep. Praise God. Are you getting what I'm saying? I have so much inside me that to use 5 months to go and do one assignment. When there are many other assignments I want to do, let's think faster. Praise God. So I said, what I saw is lift, land. And that's the principle of that drone. Just press. And then when it gets to where it's going, yes, now. When it finishes, you press, it moves. Now, that thing started without anything inside it, isn't it? Just let's see how far it can go in the air. And as if we are playing an experiment. Later, can we put letter inside it so it can drop it for us somewhere? Later, can we put one small something in case there is maybe an enemy somewhere and we want to just drop one briefly and then come back. Praise God. Even if they blast it, they're only blasting something of 5,000. It doesn't make any problem. But at least we have wasted them, no problem. And there's no human being inside it. So it's safer to use it for war. Praise God. No, but everything about life is not destruction. So some people start thinking positive. Okay, if there is a hospital in a remote place and that hospital needs some important equipment or instrument or drug, and there's no way they will travel under emergency to go, can't we use this thing to transport something and drop it for them and come back? It's possible. So they're using it for positive things. Now Dubai started using it for taxi. So you can take 4 people.